Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to today's live session. Apologies for the short 2 minute delay. I was just setting some things up, but let's dive straight into the amazing topic that we want to cover today because I want to talk to you about something that's crucial, something that's important, yet something that a lot of us oftentimes miss. And it's this: how do we deal with failure in the moments it hits us the hardest? How do we deal with challenges and tough times in our lives when everything seems bleak? When it's like there is no hope? How will I do things? How will I recover? And we're at that breaking point in our lives where either we do something or everything just completely falls apart. And in those moments, a lot of times, the problem that happens is we end up choosing the options that are not beneficial to us. Out of desperation, out of fear, or whatever else it may be, when we are encountering failure, when we are standing face to face with defeat, we start thinking, oh, this is permanent. This is going to last a long time. I'll never recover from this. And those thoughts are exactly what bother you, are exactly what block you from taking the right action and recovering and improving and succeeding. So, if you're someone who's been going through a hard patch, whether it's in a relationship or whether it's in your career or some other area, and it just feels like life has been working against you, it's very important for you to listen to today's conversation because you're finally going to learn how you can deal with failure in an effective and powerful way. Because a lot of times, it's not the failure that bothers us. What bothers us is the judgment around the failure that we are carrying. See, in our minds, the idea is everyone else seems to have figured it out. Everyone else is looking perfect. Everyone else is sorted. I am just the only one who's feeling so messed up, who has so many problems, who's not able to deal with his or her current circumstances in life. And so, what you try to do is you try to hide away. You try to go back from the failure. Inside, you're suffering. Inside, you're thinking lots of thoughts. But to the outside world, what are you looking like? A normal person, a happy person, someone who's pretty successful. And I've seen this pattern with so many of my coaches by now. It's crazy. From the outside, their lives will look like heaven. But from the outside, it will look like but from the inside, it will look like a golden cage. Things are there, but everything that they want, that is not there because the freedom is not there because they are feeling like a failure. And the only reason they're continuing to adjust is because in their mind the idea is everyone else has it figured out, because they are seeing the perceptions of everybody else, not their reality, just like they are showing everybody else a perception of success rather than the reality of the failure. And that's why it's so important for us to have conversations around failure, to have that representation, because otherwise the data in our minds gets skewed. We start thinking I'm the only one when in fact it's not true. That's why the very first thing I want you to know is everybody in the world messes up. It's not just you, it's everybody at one point or the other in their lives. They have failed, they have fallen down, they have faced the brunt of defeat, they've had to go through the same kind of ego death that's like, what do I even do now? Everything's gone. Everybody goes through that on some level or the other. The problem is we never talk about those experiences until we have overcome them and we've become successful, which is also kind of like pretty good if you think about it, because then you're not pestering negativity in the world. But what I want you to make sure is when you are failing, when you are in the down low, when you are in that place when nothing seems to work, release this judgment that I am someone who is messed up. I am someone who's the problem. It's my life only that's like this. No, everybody goes through this. The problem isn't the failure itself. The problem is this inherent judgment you're carrying, which makes it difficult for you to work on the failure. Because then, as long as you're carrying in this judgment, you are not working on solving the problem. You're sitting on the sidelines and you're complaining and you're whining and you're crying and you're sad, but you are not taking action. And the way to change from any failure state, the way to change from any place where you feel battered, where you feel bruised, where you feel that nothing's going to work out, is not a place of complaining. And as long as you complain, either whether it's to yourself or to other people, The more and more you're going to struggle, the more and more you're going to face problems. So, first of all, we are not going to be complainers. But at the same time, that doesn't mean we're going to judge ourselves for the failure and hate ourselves for it and criticize ourselves for it and end up creating so many problems over it. So, the way to deal with setbacks, the way to bounce back, the way to rise up is a simple 4 step process that I want to share with you today. These 4 steps, if you can execute these rather than complaining and crying and whining, your life will get so much better. Your life will get so much happier. You'll be like, where was this all my life? So, step number one to bouncing back after any kind of failure, please release the judgment. It's okay. Everybody goes through it. Everybody messes up. Rather than avoiding it, can you please give yourself the permission to be one with it, to be okay with it, to allow the truth to shine, to allow the reality to come up, even if it's not so good, even if it's not as rosy, that's okay. You can take responsibility for it, but it doesn't mean you have to judge yourself for it, think of yourself as a failure, brand yourself as someone who can never do anything. No, that's not the way. So if you really want to change, if you really want to stop complaining and make your life better, step one is the most crucial one. Release the judgment about failure. So what if you failed? So what if things went wrong? So what if you messed up your entire life? It's okay. Every moment onwards is the better one that you have. I read this quote recently, which I absolutely love, which is perfect for releasing this judgment. It doesn't matter if you wasted 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years in the wrong direction, you saved yourself the rest of your life. It's always forwards. Well, adopt that attitude to your life, adopt that attitude to failure, and see how quickly you bounce back. Which brings me to the second step in the whole process: cultivate love. I know what you're thinking already. I failed, and you want me to love? You want me to find love? Well, I'm not saying go out there and get dating and meet new people. No, that's not what I mean by love. But by love, what I do mean is have that sense of love, compassion, kindness, and care towards yourself. The worst thing we do is when we fail, we start punishing ourselves. And we start thinking, you know what? Something must be wrong with me only, because of which I'm not able to do this, I'm not able to do that. And then rather than being kind to ourselves, we are being harsh to ourselves. And my simple question is, talk to a 5-year-old kid, okay? And when you're talking to the 5-year-old kid, try the try to get the kid to do something. The first thing you want to get him to do is something he doesn't want to do. And now try punishing him for it. Try getting angry with him for it. Try pushing him through guilt and remorse and pain or whatever other way you can find. Or just promise him a chocolate, show him the chocolate, and tell him, see, after you're done with this, I'm going to give you this and I'm going to spend so much time playing with you. And the child will do it like this. Well, that's because they think of it as an act of love. They love it. They like having the chocolate. So, just like that, if you think about it, when you failed, it's not punishment that's going to get you back, it's love. So give yourself that love, give yourself that grace, give yourself that compassion. I know a lot of people are going to be against it. A lot of people are going to say, how dare you fail? Don't you have any shame? You've failed and you're focusing on loving yourself. Well, yes. What's wrong in that? Nothing. Because through that love, what you can create is that you can take the next step forward. You can move to the third step, which is seeking support. See, none of us have made it big all by ourselves. Look at any entrepreneur, look at any athlete, look at anybody who inspires you, and you will see every time they failed, the third step was the one that they definitely followed. They went out there and they sought out support because they knew I can't do it alone. And there's no shame, there's no problem in seeking support. There's nothing wrong with seeking the help of someone who's wiser, someone who's stronger, someone who's better, someone who's gone through this, someone who knows more. Simple reason being, we all are humans. We're all on a learning journey. And if we cannot seek the support, we cannot grow, we cannot continue to become better. That's why the top leaders, they always invest in their own coaching. They always invest in becoming their best version. And as a coach, that's what I help everybody do as well. So if you are someone who's ready for your bounce back, and you know, I want to take my life to the next level. The forms in the description. Take the action, seek the support now. I'm ready to help you create the most magical results in your life. And it's not just me who can do it, by the way. Anyone, anything, just seek some support, because what it also does is, right, it breaks your mind's barrier that I'm the only one struggling. Because the moment you go out there to seek support from community, from friends, from coaching, whatever it may be, even from books, by the way, anything and everything can be a source of support. But what you need to know through the support is, one, I'm not alone. Two, if other people have done it, I can do it too. And three, I know I can bounce back. I know I can make it happen. That hope, that spark, that little fire is the most important one, because the moment that exists, you step into the next and the final step of bouncing back, and that is plan and take action. Sitting on the sidelines, as I said, is not going to do anything. But the question is, are you ready to take your life to the next level? Are you ready to make your success go to the next level? If yes, you're going to have to take your actions to the next level. So when you release judgment, you release the negative energy that you're carrying. When you cultivate love, you bring in the positive and the empowering energy you need to actually make things happen. When you seek support, you get a plan, you get a know how of how to do things. And when that happens, all that's left is taking action. And at this stage, then, fear cannot block you. Self doubt cannot hold you back, because now you know you're not just trying to do something out of the world. You're not just trying to, randomly do anything and everything. You have a plan, you have a structure. You know how and why and through what way you are deciding to bounce back. And that, my friends, is how you deal with failure. It's not by deciding to succeed, it's by first accepting the failure, releasing the judgment, cultivating love, then seeking support, and then taking the right actions. And before you know it, step by step, one day at a time, your life starts to change. You make better choices, you make different choices, you become a different kind of person. And the more you do this, the better things get. So, here's a reflection exercise for you. In whichever area of your life you're feeling stuck in whichever area you're feeling, oh, I'm just a failure, apply these 4 steps. See what comes up. Release the judgment, cultivate love in spite of the mistakes, seek support as much as you can, and then don't just seek the support, take action on the support, even if the action gets uncomfortable. And within a few days and weeks, your life will be on a whole new trajectory. Try it out. It's an experiment. And I'm telling you, you will love the person you become when you genuinely treat failure as a learning opportunity rather than something to be ashamed of. I hope this helps. I hope you take action on it. And I'll see you once again tomorrow at the same time, that is 8:30 p.m. IST, for our next live session, which will take this further and help you get closer and closer to your breakthrough and to the successes that you want. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you once again tomorrow. Bye.